Are you willing to donate your body? Got a problem with authority? Would you stop a speeding bullet? Are you afraid of the masked man? Come on! Bring it on! Think you've got a game?
Broadcasting live from the heart of Europe, you're listening to the most badass hockey podcast in all the known land. Ladies and gentlemen, this is YouTube. This is hockey. This is the best NHL hockey broadcast you're gonna see without, I don't know, Bob McKenzie. Who knows too much as it is. So listen to these douchebag fans talk about the entire week in the National Hockey League in the totally politically incorrect way, well, as possible. This week on Shot from the Point Live, we're going to be talking about the Toronto Maple Leafs for all you Canadian fan douchebags out there. Yeah, the Leafs have themselves in a little bit of trouble. Everybody's mad at them. Everybody's pissed, except me. And stick around and find out why. Come on, fuckface, it's time. Come on, yeah! And from the dirtiest of dirty, filthy, rotten, stinking down the shore, New Jersey, none other than comedian and legendary Jake. Let me fix my camera because I'm so fucking beautiful. Legendary Jake Link, and I'm looking for the whereabouts of the Toronto Kid, none other than the devious one. None other than Mr. Dave Rose, who's taken Jake the Huffman's place this week.
Jake the Huffman?
I'm drunk.
Jeff.
I'm sorry.
Jeff.
I'm drunk. All right, I admit it. I'm drunk.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, we're
right.
gonna do that thing. Oh, Jesus! You know what it is? I cleaned up this weekend and I unplugged all sorts of shit, and I don't have my normal setup up, so I'm gonna have to go with this. So listen. Let's get right into this. I know this. You more than likely have this at the top of your notes, and I don't name you. Let's talk about, and I'm gonna let you lead in because look, you're the newsman, Rose. What's going on in Toronto? Everybody's freaking out. There's some things I think legitimately to be pissed at, and there's some things that not so much. Look, we had the Jersey situation earlier in the week. Toronto has gone on an unbelievable losing streak, and it's not only that they're losing in style. They're losing in such a manner that it's just it's very shocking. The Buffalo lost earlier in the week, and there's of course the players are getting in on it, the fans are getting in on it, and we of course have the unbelievably stupid move of not missing the salute to the fans, which are the last people you want to piss off in this spot. Dave, just on your view, what's going on over there in Toronto?
The players are being exposed as the assholes that they are.
I disagree with that, but tell me more about what happened with the salute to the fans or what have you.
Well, this actually started earlier than that.
Mm-hmm.
There was an article earlier this week titled "Kessel Calls Jersey Tossing Classless."
Mm-hmm.
And essentially what he says in this article is that he thought it was just a total classless thing. He says, not just to us or our organization, but all the Leafs who've ever played. And I've heard that argument made before. But apparently, from what followed, was during the game, Kessel spoke to Phaneuf in the scrum right as the game ended. Words seemed to spread out through the team, and they did not salute the Toronto fans for their win by raising their hockey sticks and went straight into the
Well, I got to be honest.
Who's laughing? Who's laughing here?
That's me. That's me. That's me.
Me. No, but here's the thing about the salute to the fans. When you go to the center ice circle and salute the fans, that is actually a European tradition, not a Canadian tradition. It actually started to become mainstream when Jaromir Jagr was head of the New York Rangers. This is something they do in Europe, and they've been doing it for a long time. But a lot of other teams, and I think it was great. It's a great idea. Jagr started doing it, and a lot of other teams started doing that afterwards. Do they do that in New Jersey now, by any chance, when there's a Devil's Rin, Jake?
They do yeah, not all the time. I mean, they do it like at the end of the season, at the end of a playoff run.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
but
that's
when Jaromir Jagr was captain of the New York Rangers, they did it every time because he was captain, and that's what he wanted to do. And I always thought it was a very nice touch. My question to you, Dave Rose, is how often do they do this? How consistent they've done this last 2 years or so? And is this something that happens all the time, and then they just didn't do it all of a sudden because of the stupid jersey toss? Fill me in.
No, this is a new thing. This is something that it's boiling. It's coming to a boil essentially. With
I mean, I bet the salute. Did they do the salute all year and not do it the other night? I mean, give me
basically,
some detail.
yeah, and it's
me?
become something that's not a tradition, but it's something that is become expected of the Leafs.
Sure,
and it's more of a recognition of the fans that basically, and I've seen this in certain comments on these articles where they pay, up to $255 or more for tickets, and then, $100 for beer, and, they end up spending quite a lot, and that disrespect is what's showed to them. Because Cherry actually made a good point, although I don't agree with him in a few things, because what he said was, and I quote him, now everyone thinks this guy, the guy who threw the jersey, is a passionate fan. This guy's a jerk and threw it on. That doesn't care about the Leafs at all. He just wants to have his picture in. I did that. Look, I did that. He's a jerk. He's not a fan at all. That started the whole thing. But he goes on to say, though, that this is that it's the organization. The organization, had nothing to do with the players not saluting. And he says that this is basically the players themselves that are
that's unbelievable,
reacting in a manner that they shouldn't be. Essentially,
I would agree. Here's the thing: I'm a little mixed on this because I stuck up for Nazem Kadri earlier in the year. I do not. Let me give it to you this way, Dave Rose. Look, if you don't like the jersey toss as a Toronto Maple Leaf, okay, and I'm a little sick and tired of players not being able to speak their mind. I don't want a situation where everybody's got to sound like Sidney Crosby and PK Subban. I don't like that. I want them to talk honestly, and that's one of the reasons I didn't jump on Nazem Kadri. No, I don't like that shit. And even Phil Kessel, for that matter, I think it's you're entitled to your opinion even as a player. And I don't know why. I don't think I like the word classless, but I think Cherry's onto something. Is if you toss your jersey on the ice, it is something like a look at me stunt.
It is. It definitely is.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's got because I mean, what jersey?
I disagree entirely.
$120. Now, flip that ahead. This is to not salute the fans after statements like that. I got to be honest with you. If I'm
maybe
a
they
fan,
just forgot because they haven't been used to winning.
I suppose.
I see throwing the jersey on the ice a little bit similar to flying your national flag upside down.
Now, okay, do you have a problem with it then? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that it's a manner of protest. You're not talking about burning a flag. You're talking about putting it upside down and showing distress, showing that things are not the way they should be.
They should be. Okay, fine. And you know what? At the same time, you know that I've stuck up for Nazem Kadri and Phil Kessel. You know that I haven't disrespected any of the fans that decided to throw the jersey in the jersey.
This has really nothing to do with Kadri. Sorry to interrupt, but this
I don't. But
really
he was the
has
first
to do
guy.
with Phaneuf.
No, yes, it does.
And a lot of people I've been speaking to have been telling me some really interesting things about their thoughts about Phaneuf. Basically, everyone hates him, at least the people that I've spoken to. I'm talking about random people. And here's the thing. This is what really is pissing a lot of people in Toronto off now. Because yesterday's win over Detroit, they did their little stick, thing.
Oh, I bet.
We love the fans, this and that.
Sure.
Tommy, you mentioned, PR, damage control.
Absolutely.
Very true. And the thing is, though, he actually, before this game, Phaneuf did a press conference and was saying that they decided to just switch things up and that things were going to be different. So, and the comments, which I've been tweeting, that people have noticed is that he went back to the previous way of doing things. Bullshit, total bullshit. This is their way of recognizing, oh shit, this thing got out of hand too quickly.
Get out of control.
We thought that we could be the big, badass people and force the players to see it, force the fans to see it our way. No, this is blown up entirely in their faces. And Phaneuf, Kessel, and probably a few others within the team probably spearheaded this initiative and should be punished for it.
Well, first of all, you got to prove it. But I mean, here's the thing: like when I brought up Kadri before, just to go back, Kadri's the first guy that voiced discontent or about the jersey tossing. That was our first. That was one of our earliest shows, Dave. That you called in before you were a part of this team and expressed the disappointment in that. And I did defend Kadri, and Kessel's the latest version. And I did defend. Look, if these guys don't like it, I want them to be able to speak and speak freely without a certain amount of punishment, I suppose. And at the same time, I've never disparaged. If you want to toss your jersey on the ice, feel goddamn free. Feel free. That's your prerogative. You got that kind of money. You got that kind of money. That's entirely up to you. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that I find the most shocking about this whole situation. First, let me get into the blatant disregard of the fans. If I was a Toronto Maple Leaf, at least I think, if I saw somebody chop their jersey, let's say me and Jake were on the Toronto Maple Leafs and somebody threw their jersey on the ice, I'd be looking at Jake as like, aren't those things $120? and I was like, Jesus, we suck tonight, but $120? Wow. And then when I went to the media and I talked to them, it's like, look, I really don't particularly like that, or maybe I wouldn't even say that. Maybe I would say something to the effect of something like, Dave, like, look, the fans got every right to voice it, or express themselves the way they see fit. I don't know if that's the best idea in the world. It's kind of a lot of money to toss a jersey in the ice. We're going to do our best to change this in the future. But
I think Dave should throw a shot from the point shirt on the ice.
That would be great. Next, there you go. Now we're talking.
Perfect promotion.
Yeah,
that is the best promotion.
You make to
all of a sudden, Don Cherry goes, now they're throwing low quality hockey show jerseys on the ice.
But yeah, it's not a show on YouTube,
not a good show.
But at the same time, I completely misjudged how the Leafs took this personally, because I got to be honest with you, Dave, I don't think there's any other way to read this. This was not a mistake. Not to salute the fans.
I got to send you the video, and I encourage the fans out there listening to look up that video as well. Maybe put it into the chat. Sure. But there is a clip where you can see Kessel go up to Phaneuf. Mm-hmm. The game's done. Right up to Phaneuf, says a few words in his ear. You see, like, basically words sort of like not broken telephone, but you see other people saying things, and then they just go straight into the changing room. Oh
my God! Like, you don't deserve our appreciation. I mean, unbelievable.
No, it was like, this will show them.
Well, in fairness, even if we did have that video, we don't know what they said. We absolutely don't know what they said. I'm pretty sure this is
like you said. This is.
I tell you something, Dave. Here's the thing. I'm always accusing you of being a conspiracy theorist, and I don't like that type of stuff. But in fairness, in this particular situation, we don't know the 100% the facts. Jones. But he's not that bad. But Dave's right in this situation, and I'll tell you why. Oh, because we don't know what was said, but I think because of Kadri's comments. Because of Phil Kessel's comments, we can come to a conclusion.
Actions speak louder than words.
And I got to I don't know, and I'm not going to say that's what they did.
Watching a few more weeks.
I tell you something.
Maybe that's not what they said. Okay, but what
did they do, though?
Was evident on the ice.
At the very least, they fucked up and forgot, which is also unforgivable. Dion Phaneuf, you're the captain of the damn team. This is something to remember. Who pays your salary? Those idiots that toss the jersey on the ice. I find it shocking that these guys making millions of dollars, and in some weird way, I'm sort of like happy that they feel that way because they're that emotional. At the same time, they're not reacting to it the way you would think a professional athlete would. If somebody did it to me, I'm like, all right, I'll show them. We'll win.
Let me quickly quote
They're
this
like,
article. I really have to say this because
Sure, go ahead.
I find it's hilarious. Toronto Maple Leafs captain Dion Phaneuf said the team meant no disrespect to fans when players skipped the customary stick salute at the conclusion of Thursday's home win and were merely attempting to shake up their routine after some devastating losses.
That's bullshit.
That makes
It's
no
total
sense.
That
fucking
makes no
bullshit.
sense. They got caught. Dave, you're right. You have convinced me by that statement and that statement alone. That was a media control damage statement. Kessel, more than likely, I'm not saying 100%, went up to them and said, fuck these guys. Dion, let's walk.
You know
Jesus.
what? I won't lie. Dion Phaneuf, that
It's
sounds
only
like
a
something
game. Why you have to be mad?
Go ahead.
It sounds like Dion Phaneuf. It sounds like a noise that a gay guy makes when he's about to come.
Oh, God, that's nasty.
Phaneuf.
Phaneuf. Oh, God, that's awful. I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
So
and now they're doing...
things here in Toronto are still a little bit unsettled. There were a lot of fans that cheered last night when they did win, and they did salute the crowd. But the fact is, the damage has been done, and I think it really reveals a lot as to maybe not necessarily the organization, because they've got their own problems, but the attitude of the players that are currently in control of the team, who should be basically put reins on and whipped if needed to get back in line with what the Leaf organization is attempting to present in a public manner. What they say in the private's fine. If they say fuck all our fans, they're just a bunch of walking wallets in the privacy of their locker room. Fine. But if you're going to say that in front of me, or your actions basically say that, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand the Leafs to a certain extent getting frustrated with the fans to an extent, to some extent. I mean, I get that. But this is just like, I mean, it really looks like they were like, F you. I mean, it is, they got an attitude problem over there. I mean, a big one. A big attitude problem. And
I think it... Sorry.
Go finish.
No, I was going to say that
I'm lost for words because
this is what
I've been defending these assholes for weeks.
You have been.
And now they're making me look like a moron.
Okay,
you were right. I was wrong. I fully admit it. These guys are jerks. I mean...
I've noticed this for years on and decades. And maybe some other Leaf fans can confirm this. Toronto... legacy team. Okay, they've got they're a legend. They've done so much. Okay, they haven't won in a long time, but they've done a lot. Okay, and they've got
bringing a lot of money for the league.
Produced some really amazing stars. But basically, what I'm saying is that the management has this idea that people are going to keep coming in, paying, giving us money, no matter what we do. We're going to exploit that. Understandable for a business, but not very ethical. Then there's the players who come in, and the management says, well, you're a part of a legacy team now. You're basically cock of the walk. Do what you want and maintain that attitude because you're going to keep your salary going and all that. So it's not something that is defined by the management saying, look, when you come to our team, it doesn't matter how much legacy we do have. You're going to act in a certain manner befitting of this team.
Like the Yankees.
And if you don't, you're fucking gone.
Yeah, well, the Yankees are like that. I mean, Jesus, it was, God, I mean, they made Johnny Damon cut his hair before he came to the team 10 years ago.
Yeah. That looked like he was spearing fish for 10 years. Freaking.
I don't want to say.
I'd really love to hear from other Leaf fans
at the
about
same,
this.
like, look, I want to be able to. I'm so sick of hockey players. I mean, when I listen to a Sidney Crosby interview, I want to cut my throat and jump into the Rhine River. I mean, it is unlistenable. PK's a little easier to listen to because he's kind of so friendly. But, I mean, he's doing the media walk. I don't want all these guys doing the media walk. I want them to speak their mind. And maybe for this reason, Dave Rose, these guys are jerks. They're fucking jerks. Dion Phaneuf should be ashamed of himself. He's a captain of this hockey team. And you know what? Maybe the fans are right. They sense this stuff that they're holier than thou, and they haven't done shit. The greatest legacy of the Toronto Maple Leafs is choking and having Pierre or Patrice Bergeron take over a game and embarrass them. They come back the next, okay, that's one of those half seasons. They come back the next year, have half a good season, and completely choke going into the fucking playoffs last year. Why do I want to be excited about the Toronto Maple Leafs? And what's happening in Toronto right now is because when I was a kid and Wendell Clark was there was a joke about the league. Toronto Maple Leafs fans are on the fence. They don't really get excited. They're not very loud. And that time is over. People are pissed. The amount of money that goes to this team, it's one of the most expensive teams in not even just the United States, because the United States tickets tend to be more expensive depending where you're at.
Of hockey, basically.
Why are we giving them this much money to continue to fail? And not only that, it's not like they're going in there, trying their balls off and failing. They resent us when we're booing them, and they resent us when they're fucking up.
You can't even call them the New York Yankees of the hockey because, I mean, yeah, the New York Yankees spend a shit ton of money, but the New York Yankees also have championships.
You don't remember
that's true. I was going to say they've got results.
Yeah, that was in the late 90s, but you don't remember all through the see, you got to remember, when I became a baseball fan, it was the 80s. We had Ricky Henderson, Dave Winfield.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody's going to go through their
their but it was because they just signed free agents and didn't build a farm system. When Steinbrenner got taken out of the equation, they built a farm system, and that legacy just ended this summer, if you really think about it.
Yeah.
You know,
it pretty much ended with their last World Series win a few years ago.
All right. I'm going to put somebody through and see what they got to say. This is wow. What the fuck? Why can't I be? Oh, my God. If you could believe this. Everything's screwed up on my... because I unplugged the stupid thing. All right. Whoever the hell you are, you're on the air. Why I fix this?
Hello, Ben.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Mr.
Hello.
Ben. What do you got?
Tommy, you're right. The people from Toronto are fed up.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Rose, you're right. We see the real character of your key players.
Mm-hmm.
Faneuf is an asshole. He's the Sarah Palin of the NHL. And
Sarah Palin's at least
Toronto
a nice person.
is the worst sports city in the world.
Really?
Wow.
It's true.
Yeah, I'm calling you from Montreal, Hockey Center. And now we're on the rise. For 10 years, you're going to see us like Chicago and L.A., and you guys, it's time you're fed up. Bring back Doug Gilmour as a GM and Wendell Clark as a player development guy, and then you will go somewhere.
You're giving me goosebumps, Ben.
Well, how successful were they?
Kessel and Faneuf must leave. Get rid of those guys and start over.
Well, wait. Hold on. So let me interrupt because I'm not Canadian, as we all know. Doug Gilmour and Wendell Clark, they were a part of the organization at some point as far as the development's concerned?
I don't know.
No, you want to bring these guys in.
Yeah.
Have they worked before,
You
though?
want to have Shanahan and Gilmour and Wendell Clark, and then it comes from the administration. Look at Montreal, the effect of Marc Bergevin. And the owner is drinking
but I mean, just bring in a bunch of old players and just
that sounds too simple to me. And I got to be honest with you, I don't know how you can blame Shanahan in this part. This losing tradition came in well before Shanahan got there. As much as I was in love with Brandon Shanahan growing up, me and Ryan Callahan.
Yeah, and nobody hired the right person. The coach is not the GM choice, and the GM is not Brendan Shanahan's choice. It doesn't work.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that because
Tommy, Doug Gilmour has coached the Toronto Marlies. As well as the Kingston Frontenacs.
What was his record? How successful he was, if you don't know his record?
Okay, let's see here. I'm just looking on Wikipedia.
All right, you look that up and you let me know. Here's the thing about bringing about. You can't. You named. I don't think Wendell Clark's going to the Hall of Fame. Is he? I don't think he's Hall of Fame. He's got Hall of Fame numbers, but he's certainly allegedly a part. I have a little problem bringing in great players just because they're great players. I think you have to earn something.
Look at Gretzky.
Exactly. Look at Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, but those guys have heart.
Yeah,
they all have heart.
They sure do, but they're not in the ice, Ben.
It's going to go down to the players.
But they're not. Maybe. But it sounds like these guys are a bunch of arrogant assholes on the ice. I mean, if it sounds like if Mark Messier walked in the room and said, "Shape up your act," and be like, "Fuck you, you're old." That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, if they do that, they're stupid. But it's the case for Phaneuf.
Yeah,
that's the point. Phaneuf is a good player, but he has to be in a veteran team.
Maybe
if he was with the Devils, for example.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
I got goosebumps
he would
now.
Shut up.
Yeah, he probably would.
He would shut up and play.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Ooh, I would love to see that. Oh my God!
You know, it's funny because Cronin called him a sad sack of shit when we were drafting. And I was wondering, I was like, wait a minute. I was looking at his numbers when he said that. I was like, his numbers are decent. I mean, he's a good player.
Yeah.
And then, to sit there and miss the salute to the fans, I mean, it really is incredible.
And speaking of Cronin.
Yeah, what do you got with Cronin?
Speaking of Cronin, okay, we beat the Bruins yesterday, and watch Lucic this week. He's gonna snap.
Did you see?
For sure.
We're going to talk about that today.
Did you see? Lucic got his dropped?
Yeah, by Prout. Yeah.
Oh God, man,
One
he
shot.
got punched in the.
Yeah, and he deserves it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess we all deserve. Let me tell you something. It's what Clint Eastwood movie was that? He's like, he says, I guess he had it coming. And Clint Eastwood looks at the guy, and goes, "We all got it coming, kid." You know, and Lucic had it coming too. I like Milan Lucic. I really have no problem. But
I love him.
This idea that guy sucker punched him is ridiculous on the Columbus Blue Jackets. No, they squared off. He lost the fight. It's okay. We all lose fights. I've lost fights. And apparently so did Milan Lucic. So he makes him human. Yeah, next time you're ready to throw Milan, which I wonder if they're telling him to cool it down, and that's why he got thrown off guard. I got to be honest with you because
I didn't see the hit. I saw like all the outrage and stuff. Mm-hmm. But how was it a sucker punch? Did somebody come up behind him and like hit him with a purse?
He threw down his gloves and then he hit him, and then Lucic was in his face. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. All right, I want to flip back to Mutton Leafs, and I want to get to the news after this.
Tommy, tonight the Rangers, who's injured?
Oh, I don't know. I got to be honest with you. I've been very sick this week. I only watched 5 hockey games the whole week, which is not very much for me. I usually watch up to 10 or 15. And then we also got snowed out on Buffalo Friday. So I don't even know who they're playing tonight. I'd have to check the stats. And also I'm getting smoked in fantasy.
Yeah, but Montreal is on a run. They play great.
We'll see. I got to be honest with you. Here's the problem with your team. I don't trust their defensemen, and they seem to run out of gas when it gets tight.
Tommy, your fantasy team's like the Oilers.
You know,
no,
it's
you're
funny.
right.
If you look,
you're right. The defense is maybe the problem, but
it's the weakness.
Everything is fine right now.
It's the only reason we beat you last year. It looked to be, and I'm like I said, I'm the only guy ever to point this out. It looked to be conditioning. These guys couldn't get off the ice fast enough. And if that is the truth, and if I'm right, that was just my observation of knowing when somebody's out of shape. And maybe it was the end of the season. I've never been in Game 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1 of the Eastern Conference Final, but the guys looked like they were out of gas, and the Rangers didn't. So
they were small, and the defense half of it.
That has nothing to do with that has everything to do with cardio. What I saw out of the Maple was a cardio issue. And that's why I'm pointing that out. And I don't know how much that has been fixed since the Eastern Conference Final last year. That's why I'm not terribly afraid of the Habs.
Do you think if cardio wasn't the issue and Carey Price was still in net, do you think the Rangers are making
it? Actually I think he had better numbers by the end of it, and he played amazing. No.
Last year, I think that the Rangers, even if Price was there, would have beaten Montreal.
I think they might have been able to take one more game, but I mean, no one. I don't even think too many Habs fans said anything about. I mean, look, they might have been pissed at Kreider, which I still think is ridiculous, which is another story altogether. But at the same time, you can't complain about your goaltending when Carey went down. It was just as good or better. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think Dustin Towarski
was great, but it's just the simple fact of bringing in a cold goalie.
He wasn't cold, but he didn't act cold. And
he didn't act cold, but it's just you have this rookie who played his ass off.
They didn't defend him. It's not like he struggled and got by. It took what did it take? St. Louis like 4 games to beat him? You know, one of the premier snipers in the game, even though he's 37 at the time. I mean, he couldn't even figure that kid out. Honestly, I think I'm saying this right now. Dustin Toharski's going to be vying for the Vezina in the next 3 years on another team, but he's going to be there.
Yeah,
I can see that very simply happening.
Maybe.
I think he's that good. Every time Montreal's called on him this year, he's been more than solid. Dustin Toharski's a starter. He's not a backup. They have a Van Beesbrook-Richter situation over there. But I got to be honest with you. It's not Toharski why they lost. It's the other part. Look, let me get to the Toronto thing, and then we'll move on to the news.
Yeah, because it's a great show. I like the pace, and bring back the Toronto subject, because we want a good team in Toronto.
Yeah.
I want rivalry.
Rivalry. How do you say rivalry? She tried to teach me in this French earlier. How do you say rivalry in French? No, not you. My wife.
Rivalité.
Rivalry?
Rivalité.
Now my wife's laughing because my wife speaks French and she's laughing at me.
And
Don't worry, Ben. I'll teach him
And
that.
Beauchemin doesn't mean nice
No,
shirt.
I'm
It
sorry.
means,
I'm sorry, Ben. I'm so
it's
sorry.
nice road or a nice
Chemise.
path.
Chemise is shirt. I'm very sorry, Ben. But what's chemin?
Chemin is a path or a little road.
So
Hey.
good path is what his name is.
Hey, Ben, do you
Ben.
like poker?
Yeah?
You like poker? Do you know who
Yeah, I
Jonathan Duhamel is?
If what?
Do you know who Jonathan Duhamel is?
Yeah, I know.
He's my favorite player. You know that?
Hey Ben. Zishon la jeune fille, je soif.
Tu as soif? You're thirsty?
Zishon la jeune fille.
Call the police, Ben.
Yeah, I'm going to call the police and listen to your show. Okay, bye, guys.
Good idea.
Always
Thanks
great
for
to hear
calling
from
in,
you.
Ben. I appreciate it. I
I mean,
appreciate it.
by the way, it translates into I'm a thirsty little girl.
I figured that because you told me that 20 times.
That's all I know how to
And I
say in
apologize
French.
to all the francophones who I may have insulted by mistranslating that. I'm a little rusty on the French.
Yeah, I'll say. It's funny because I asked my wife, "What does rivalry mean in French?" I did. I asked you like a day ago. We don't have our mic tonight because we have nothing the same because we actually cleaned the place up. All right, I still got to make my final statement on Leafs. Leafs are in trouble. There's obviously jerk-offs in the locker room. Again, I don't have a problem with the Leafs voicing their contempt for the jersey tossing. I don't have a problem with the player with the fans jersey tossing. But this problem goes deeper than I even think a management issue. This problem is these players think they're something they're not, and they think they deserve respect they don't have. That they didn't earn.
That
Excuse me.
they haven't earned.
No,
Yes.
they've earned none of it. Matthew Kazar, you're on the air.
Hi guys.
What's happening? What you
What's
got
up,
for me?
I just joined in. I saw your title, and I
Yeah.
found that very ironic because last week
Yeah.
I read the hockey news, and they were ranking the top 30 fans, and out of all 30 teams, does anyone care to guess who had the top
Yeah,
fans?
I saw that. The
Toronto
freaking,
did?
Toronto, yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah, they're zombies. They're zombies.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it might be changing. It might be changing, bud.
I hope so. I've been wanting this for a long time. I want a good team in Toronto, but if it means breaking and humiliating the current Leafs and their management, so be it. We need something to change. Nothing's changed, and everything that they've tried
Doesn't work.
had no result. Therefore, if the fans need to take a stand and humiliate them and basically make it known that they're more than willing to jump ship to another team and spend their hard-earned money on them, then the Leafs have two options: shape up or keep
Ship
doing
out.
the way
It's
that they're
not
doing
going to
it
happen,
right now.
Dave. But I tell you something. By the end, if they don't make the playoffs, it most definitely will.
When
But here's the
when
thing.
they don't
You're
make
not going to like
move
this.
I think it's time to move the franchise.
Yeah.
I don't have a supportive
that's
fan.
hilarious.
I got to
That's
be honest with you, Dave.
I mean-
And we're gonna get to Matt Kazar in a minute. Here's what more than likely is gonna happen. They're not gonna make the playoffs. Shanahan's gonna get a pass because he just got there, and the problem started more than Shanahan. And this is not. You're not gonna like this. Kyle Dubas is gonna be the general manager of your hockey team. And I got to be honest, it was set up this way because I think Shanahan showed me a little more brains this summer than I thought maybe he had. He set the situation up. If they fuck up, they're going to bring the advanced stats movement in 100%. Randy Carlisle might be gone. In fact, yeah, you'd definitely be gone because you're bringing in a new general manager. They didn't make the playoffs again with the same team. They're going to make moves. And I don't know if that's the worst thing in the world. But here's the thing. By getting rid of the current establishment, you bring in what you hate the most, which is advanced stats, because Shanahan set this thing up deliberately. Who ever heard of an assistant general manager getting any attention whatsoever? I mean, who gives a shit about an assistant general manager?
By the way, Tommy, can you name the New York Rangers assistant general manager?
I couldn't fucking tell you who the last 20 were. How about that?
Same here.
But so I got to be honest with you. I think that's the move there. That if they have some kind of issue, if they either don't make the playoffs or get a first round exit, an embarrassing first round exit. I mean, if they go 7, everybody might squeeze by. But if they get an embarrassing first round exit, you're just getting Kyle Dubas. He'll be 29 next year. Is your general manager. And you're going to be a very, very different hockey team, I think, if that's the case. So we'll leave it at that. And with that being said, it was a clean hit.
It was a clean hit.
That's right. And it's time for the news. And newsman Dave Rose, the Toronto kid's going to do it. Oh, we got to get to Matthew Kassar. Kassar, what you got?
I was just listening to what Ben was saying about the Canadians.
Mm-hmm.
And when we made the Gonchar trade, the Stars GM, he said that the Montreal Canadiens team was built to win the Stanley Cup.
Really?
Now,
not a lot of GMs just say that.
No, because he was telling the Montreal manager, you made a really good trade. That's what he was saying.
But listening to Ben, I agree with him. I don't think we have the proper defense.
Me either.
I mean, our fourth defenseman is Tom Gilbert. And that's really, really not good. And I know you say that last year we had a conditioning problem.
I don't know that for a fact. That's what I observed.
You have to remember.
I'm not going to sit there and tell you, like Ryan Lampert-Will or Greg Wyshynski, who never picked up a fucking skate or never laced on skates. That's what I thought. I got to be honest with you. I'm saying that as a soldier. I'm not saying that. I thought there was a conditioning issue shoulder. Do I know that for a fact? Those guys are better athletes than I could ever have hoped to been. But that's what I thought was going on there. And if you go back to the tapes, it's because they can't get the puck out of their own zone and they look tired. That's what I'm saying.
But you have to remember something. The round before, we were playing the Boston Bruins.
True.
And this is before they pussied out. And Montreal against Boston, it's all-out war.
Yeah.
And PK Subban, he's only 6 foot. But he's at least 230 pounds, I think.
Ooh,
I mean, that guy's tough. That guy's fit. And against the Rangers, he could barely move anymore. I mean, I could have probably skated faster. I'm exaggerating.
That's what I saw. I mean, were they beat up by the Bruins? I mean, look, you caught the Bruins as they were just starting to pussy out. And I agree with that. The Bruins have pussied out. The fact that Milan Lucic got even caught off guard earlier in the week, I think says something about the new management style. And
even Campbell got beat up by Weiss again.
Oh, jeez.
Which is embarrassing.
Honestly, if I had to pick one guy, I mean, I probably couldn't beat 2 guys in a fist fight in the NHL. If I had to pick one guy, like, all right, you have to fight this guy to the death, and if he kills you, he kills you. I think I'd pick Dale Weiss. You know, not that he wouldn't beat my ass. I just think I'd have the best shot. And yet he's running around kicking Boston Bruins' ass. Oh, how the times have changed. Yeah, but finish what you were saying about the Habs.
Well, I was pretty much done at that. I was, because I don't really think we have a team to go far in the playoffs. I think we're more of a regular season team. Really?
I really think you do.
Why?
There's
Jake?
different, because in the playoffs, there's players that perform better than during the season. Like if you look at Dustin Brown, he doesn't do shit during the season. In my pool, he didn't even get picked up. Yet in the playoffs, he's out there scoring how many goals? And on the other hand, Pacioretty.
Like Claude Lemieux. He is, he was pretty much almost had his foot out the door in Jersey because he didn't do anything in the regular season, and then he had that epic '95 series.
Yeah, and they got rid of him the next year instead, where he won. What he won 2 Conn Smites back to back with 2 different teams.
Yeah,
no, he only won 1 Conn Smythe.
He didn't win. Who won the Conn Smythe for Colorado in '96?
I think either Bork. No,
No, it was
it
Bork.
wasn't
That was
him.
2000. That's when they beat you. 2001.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't he win the back-to-back?
No, he
No.
has 4 cups, but
He does have 4
he
cups.
didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't win. He didn't win. I think he was still a Devil in '96.
What? I thought.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. No, because the blood game
Joe
was
Sakic.
96. The blood
Joe
game
Sakic?
it was Joe Sakic.
Yep, 96.
The blood
96.
game was 96, wasn't it?
Sorry?
The blood game was 96, and then, or no, the blood game was 97 because the incident happened in 96 on the Avalanche's journey to the Cup that year, if I'm not mistaken. And then Detroit beat the ever-living loving crap out of Lindros's Flyers. I don't know. I'll have to go back and check that. Matthew Kazar, are those French kids still beating you up in high school?
Well, I actually changed schools. I went to an English school.
Did you really?
Wow, got that bad?
Cool. Well, this was a long
You're just
time
some
ago.
English pig.
We are just some
Yeah.
English. Come here, you English pussy. We beat you up and hit you with pillows.
My nickname was actually Weird English Guy.
What was so weird about you? I don't think you're weird.
Thank you. That means a lot.
You're coming from you, asshole. You know.
I'm just joking, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So was
They're
it?
not good with nicknames, are they?
Something tells me you left that French school because you had trouble speaking French. Is that true?
Yeah, that's
That's part of it.
also a thing.
So
but-
are you originally from Alberta and then you moved over to Quebec?
No, my family, our origins are actually European. My grandfather's from Turkey.
Oh, you're
So-
Turk. Are you Muslim? Practicing Muslim?
No, I'm not.
So you're not a
I'm-
big fan of Nazem Kadri?
What's that?
I'm just
What
busting
about
balls.
Kadri?
Nal Yakupov, you like him? You know.
Is
No,
he
I'm just busting
Muslim?
balls.
He's just
Actually,
trying
you know,
to
it's
start
crazy.
shit.
It's crazy. I live in a Turkish neighborhood. You know that?
Because Zafinajad.
No, he's
Great coffee,
I don't
though.
think he's,
Great coffee.
I actually
Turkish
love your
coffee with
sandwiches.
rose water?
I get along
Try
quite
it.
well with the Turks, man.
the
So far
food.
they haven't beaten me up once. You know.
Big fan of your sandwiches.
So your
The
family's
sad
from
thing
Turkey?
is that I actually kind of look like Zabinishad a little.
Oh, really? Serious? There's nothing wrong with that.
He's an excellent player, but it's sad to look like him.
As long as you're not willing to blow yourself up and take people with you, I think you're okay with me, sir.
That's great.
Don't worry, Matt. That's just the American speaking in him.
No, I'm dead
America.
serious. Don't blow me up. You know.
No, it's fine. In some
If you're
way,
brown, you're a terrorist. That's what we
we're just-
Americans think.
We're just busting balls, Matthew. You know,
in some way, I
look
always
at your
viewed
name.
Tommy
Yeah, you
as
are-
kind of a.
Did you let me ask you something? Now I see it. Your name was started with a K, and your parents changed.
How'd you
it,
know
correct?
that?
Yep, I knew because I have somebody down the
Oh,
street.
he's on to him quick.
No,
Yes.
no. You know
Now.
why? Because you said you were Turkish, and I know somebody with the same name as you that lives down the street. And you know
Yeah.
why I know it? Because I see it on their mailbox.
He
And it's
actually
K,
changed it to a K.
Yeah,
to
and
a
then
C.
the one of the S's is like accented, correct?
That I don't know.
I think one of the X's that. See, I'm a worldly guy, huh?
Yeah, not
I'm
bad
a worldly
actually.
guy.
In
Well,
fact, you always
now-
kind of reminded me of a mini version of Don Cherry.
Thanks.
You're Republican.
I'm not a Republican. I'm a
you
libertarian.
you always fuck up names.
Yeah, he's my hero.
Red
I'm not a
state
Republican.
bigot.
I'm not a Republican. I'm a
You
libertarian.
scream to the TV,
American Don Cherry. That's
I know. I'm not a
and you hate
Republican.
Ovechkin.
I'm not a.
There you go.
No, actually, no.
Wait,
That's not.
wait,
That's
wait.
that's just recent. I'm disappointed. The thing with Ukraine pissed me off. I was a big Ovechkin. You can ask Jake. I was a big Ovechkin guy for a long time.
Yeah.
That
Well,
shit. you-
Ovechkin, when he's at his best, he's the best player in the league.
Yeah.
I mean,
What was that?
the way he
2000
hits.
Like
When was
3
that?
weeks.
2007. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
when you draft him in your fantasy pool, and then the playoffs start, and he was nowhere to be found all year, and you didn't make the playoffs because he didn't do anything, and then he's just lighting it up at the end of the
Well,
season.
it's not even that too. Like I had him drafted last year, and I didn't let him go. But the problem is the minuses. I mean, he would have been unstoppable,
Yeah.
considering the minuses. So like for everything he did well, he would just like become a regular player as far as like draft because the minuses would just would eat you up as a fantasy fan. I mean, yeah, he did a lot. He had a lot of assists. He had a lot of goals. I mean, he had the most goals last year.
It's
he
like
won-
it's
he won
like
the-
all of the great players in the NHL. They all have one glaring default. I mean, Crosby's his leadership.
Yeah.
Ovechkin's his defense. I
I'm
mean,
trying to think.
Do you guys know any really like complete
I don't know.
player?
Like what default did
Not
Mark
this
Messier
year.
have? I can't think of one.
Who's that?
I mean,
Mark Messier. Tell me his.
I
his
didn't
fault.
watch him.
Mark
I'm talking about
Messier's only
nowadays.
fault is he
Now,
wasn't the best
exactly.
scoring
no,
player
nowadays,
There
I
were
mean,
so many classy guys back in the day, but
Yeah.
now it's just like who's got it, you know? And
Well-
and Matt's got a great point.
Actually, I know something. But Messier had a character flaw. You know that? A lot of people don't know this in Canada. He
His
knocked
hair?
up some chick in. Oh yeah, he knocked up some chick in Edmonton and almost had nothing to do with his first son. And then when he retired, he had like 20 kids, and he was Mr. Dad. But
So did Steve Jobs. Come
Yeah,
on,
that's true.
once you make the money, you can
and Jason
concentrate back on your
Arnott
kids.
too. Jason Arnott
Jason Arnott.
knocked up a chicken.
Jason. Yeah, but I was a little sympathetic of Jason Arnott. He banged that chick in Edmonton, and she's like, "You're the dad." He's like, "Fuck that! You know I'm on the Edmonton Oilers. That's the problem. You're gonna have to put a paternity test up, bitch." And he was wrong. That was his kid. Jason Arnott, you're a dad. R2. Actually, if you notice in the introduction, Jason Arnott is actually in our introduction slamming
Yeah,
the
he's
penalty
slamming
box.
the door.
Yeah, slamming the penalty box. Thank you very much, Matthew Kazar.
guys.
And now I appreciate you being able to make. Now we got you're the English kid, and now we know you're Turkish, so we can have something to make fun of you more of. You know, so thanks for giving us more information. I appreciate.
Thank
that.
you guys.
All right, and this goes to your family. Here you go.
America.
That's right.
I ate your grandma's hockey show. We're making fun of people of Arab descent.
Yeah. Damn, he can't go anywhere. He
I
goes
bet he's the
goes to
only
he can't even go
non-Catholic
to
in
Canada,
Quebec.
gets made fun of for not speaking French. He comes here thinking he's blowing up buildings.
He can't. Poor Matthew Kazar.
That's
But did you see
terrible.
that? I want to point that out. Did you see how I picked up on the K? That was
Yeah,
pretty
you're
good.
worldly.
that.
Yeah, we get it.
I'm smart.
That's right.
guy.
You live in Europe.
I live in, that's like what I told Lambert. I live in Europe. I've been around.
I'd like a scone with my espresso.
You know what if I was really going to be rude, I'm originally from Europe. My parents are Turkish. That's not Europe.
Oh,
I actually no.
It's
You know why it's not
Eurasia.
Europe? Because
It's
I was
Eurasia.
posted 30 miles from the Turkish border. That's not Europe.
it's Eurasia.
No, it's Europe.
It's that landmass.
No,
that
you
basically
know what?
comes
I'll
in
tell you
between.
something.
Hey, don't start debating about geology with me, man, and geography, because I know that quite well.
Well, you're
can't
like
get
from South America, so what the fuck? What do you got to say?
I just got a fucking genius IQ. What do you gotta say?
Yeah. Hey, you're such a genius. Why are you working with me?
I pity the little people.
Hey, well, glad to have you aboard then.
I'm like borderline retarded here.
All right, boys.
Hey, listen,
Tommy's
before
made
you
a
start
point
the
to me
news,
that we gotta get the news shot out here because we got limited time and there's a lot of news for this week. So, Tommy, should I take it away?
Yeah, one more thing. I just want to
Matt Kessars just said he is Catholic.
Oh, he is Catholic?
Yeah.
Well, thank God you converted. You're less dangerous. You know.
So Tommy loves you now.
All right, and listen. We're just busting balls, Mr. Kazar. So we love the Turkish people. No matter what your religion is, we don't care. Just make sure. Let's go. Let's do this.
All right. So a story that actually really made me sick this week is Jack Johnson filed for bankruptcy, and his parents allegedly took advantage of him to the point where they basically ran him dry. He's now got about $50,000 worth of assets available, and he's in about what is coming out is that he's in $10 million debt. It's more estimated he's at $15 million in debt because his idiotic parents he also sort of gave his parents permission to do this, but his idiotic parents took control of his finances.
Yeah, but he
and
was
they
18
went crazy.
though. He gets a pass. He was 18. Just to elaborate a little more. Look, I had to give power of attorney to my ex-wife when I was in Iraq, and there's no other way to do it. A lot of guys get screwed with this stuff. I've seen it. I mean, I've seen guys come back with $20,000, $30,000 after 15 months in Iraq, and it's gone. I can't jump on Mr. Broke too much.
You should be able to. You should be able to trust your family and your parents.
Let me ask you something.
Clearly,
Is he Canadian?
he was not able to do in this case.
He's American or is he Canadian? This guy.
I believe he's American.
He's
He was
American.
on the American team.
Figure out if he's poor or not, because this is the behavior of poor people, not necessarily him. The thing is, like, You know, it is like, oh
parents'
my God,
Let me
my
break
son
it down
got
for you,
signed to
Tommy.
a $2 million
He made
contract. Let's
$20.9
take
million in his career in just 3 seasons, and apparently all that money is gone.
He's gone.
Now he's
how much
on
was it, Dave? How much was it, Dave?
$20.9.
Okay, so that means he
million.
probably took about 10.5 home. And how much some of these loans were well over 10 million with anywhere between 6 and 12% interest rates.
I heard 24% interest.
Oh my God.
Well, according to this
24%.
particular article on Puck Daddy, they took out several different loans, and he's actually involved in 3 different lawsuits at the current time.
Of course, he's got to come up with that money. That's why he declared bankruptcy.
It's incredible. But let me just go through some of the numbers here. Yeah. So a loan for $1.56 million to buy a Manhattan beach house to supposedly be closer to their child at a 12% interest rate.
California?
Another 12% interest rate loan on $2 million from Rodney L. Blum, who is now apparently a U.S. congressman. A 24% interest rate loan from Pro Player Funding in New York, which specializes in monetizing contracts. 18% loan from Adam Blum, apparently no relation to that other Rodney Blum, for $400,000. And it goes on and on and on. And it is absolutely incredible that this has occurred to a guy who is basically making a big amount of money in just 3 years alone, and yet now he's got to basically cut his parents off and actually take litigation to them.
Yeah. Well, his lawyer recently made a statement. I got some audio.
Yeah, you know what? You know how bad how shitty his parents is? Darth Vader's looking at him like, damn, you guys are fucked up.
Yeah.
So bottom line is they ended up borrowing more than $15 million in their son's name, and they ended up taking loans apparently in their son's name without his knowledge of it.
Well, he had some power of attorney, so that was it.
Well, there's the problem right there, Tommy.
So it's all legal, and it's all his responsibility because he was over the age of 18. Here's the thing.
Now, the NHLPA has come out and tried to support him, and
they should
reveal the fact that it is difficult for people to avoid this.
He's still
sort
a
of
kid.
thing.
What is he, 21? 22? He's a kid. I was stupid too. God, I would have thought I could trust my father, and I have given my father power of attorney when situations moving to Germany.
When I heard this story, I called my mom. I called her. I said, "Listen, Mom, I need to have a talk with you." She's like, "What's up?" I said, if I ever sign a $30 million contract, I am not giving you the power of attorney. My mom knows nothing about hockey. She knew nothing about this, about Jack Johnson or anything like that. Mm-hmm. And she was like, okay. And I kind of had to explain it to her. I was like, she goes, well, I'm not giving you the power of attorney if I ever sign a $30 million
contract. Yeah, good move then.
It's a really sick story, actually.
Good move. She's going to need you to have power of attorney. I wouldn't give you power of attorney either. Jesus Christ.
Why?
Give it to Tracy before I give it to you.
I'm responsible. Well,
here's the thing. Here's my view on this. We got to move on because Dave's right. We are a little short on time, so we got to cut through stories. If I had to guess, and I'm just guessing because it's weird because, especially American hockey players, they tend to come from rich families, whereas in Canada, they came to come from all sorts of backgrounds. Sounds like you got a couple of white trash in your family. And if I had to guess, it's a common problem, and you'll notice most with people that don't understand that they haven't paid their cell phone bill for 3 months straight, and the cell phone bill company turned it off. And they're just shocked by it. They heard he was making $1 million, and they didn't consider injuries. They didn't understand interest rates. And they're like, shit, I fucking drove him to hockey practice. God damn it, I'd serve fucking $1 million of this, so I'll take a $10 million loan out.
At 24%.
At 24%. Well, 24, that doesn't sound like that much. Shit, he's a millionaire.
Our son's a millionaire. He's always going to be a millionaire.
Here's the good news. He declared bankruptcy, so he's not going to probably have to pay anybody. Second of all,
a really awkward Thanksgiving. No, I'll tell you that.
He's a kid, so he probably, if he has a 10, 15-year career, he's going
to be playing. He's going to be doing the Yammer Yager.
Yeah, but he made $20 million so far. He's in debt 15, another 4 years at the same contract. maybe with the same production levels, and salaries will rise over time, he might be able to pay this off. And he's probably not going to have to pay these anything off in the meantime. Probably just have to come to some kind of weird settlement.
He might be able to afford a studio apartment somewhere in freaking Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
Look, here's the thing. It's all going to depend on his greatness, and God forbid he gets hurt. God forbid. If I was an enforcer, if he has any fight in him, I'd stop fighting tomorrow. Because he should just be looking on putting goals in the net. Because that's the only way he's going to pay this off. And it's sad because it almost cripples him as a player. And
he scored the other night, so he's...
Yeah, but I had him for a while. Hey, listen, he's going to have to be a prolific mainstream scorer to pay this off and then not have to worry about it. That's what it comes down to. And we're going to assume that he doesn't get hurt. We're going to assume that he doesn't have to get concussion treatment. We're going to assume... This goes to show you, kids, managing your money is like washing your ass. You have to do it, or you're going to be in trouble.
Bottom line is, if you're making that amount of money, it's just worthwhile to invest
if you don't know what to do,
planner.
You hire somebody. Because
exactly.
You got a better goddamn
That's an investment.
Of them not
because the money that you're spending on that person's position is going to serve you in the long run.
Look who made it. Jeff the Huffman.
That's right.
Yeah.
What's up, Jeff?
Welcome aboard. All right, go to the next story. And by the way, if you hear dead air, just keep moving on. Just keep moving on. We're gonna pass this.
No
along.
dead air with me, baby. All right.
Go.
So the next story is something that actually the Huffman told me about. This was a Twitter tweet from The Score, where apparently ex-referee Kerry Fraser confirms that officials have a most wanted list and that biases are real. So
Shocking.
going further into this, apparently Kerry Fraser confirmed on his blog at tsn.ca that referees and linesmen have lists of players to watch out for, and Montreal's Canadian forward Brendan Gallagher is on it.
Really?
Wow.
Why would he know that? He's been retired for 6 years now.
He's retired. What does he have to lose?
I suppose, but that means he's also snitching on
I
his boys.
believe it. I believe
it too. First of all, here's the thing: Kerry Fraser comes out with this shit every so often. He mentioned a year ago that referees call makeup penalties, which I always believed, and then he confirmed it, and I believed it. But here's the thing about Kerry Fraser. Kerry Fraser was probably the biggest referee that was guilty of "look at me, people come to see me" with his perfectly coiffed hair over the years and his sort of his attitude. So I don't know if he's just trying to get attention. And
something that's been mentioned in this article and the comments as well, and I'd like to get your take on it because, Tommy, you've mentioned this in the past, is what do you believe then is potentially occurring here? Because there's always been talk about a potential hit list that referees or perhaps officiating...
I don't believe that.
Officials have had.
I think it's one of
what
these
do you
things.
think about
that?
that?
I don't believe it. I think Fraser's trying to be outrageous. I think he's trying to stay in the media, and I think it's one of those things that the hit list exists, but it's not written down on paper.
He actually is quoted here in this article saying, directives sent to referees and linesmen originate from the desk of Stephen Wacom, VP of officiating, or his counterpart in hockey operations.
Somebody pissed
Colin
him off.
Campbell.
You know what? I got to be honest. I don't think he's a credible source. I think Kerry Fraser loved attention. Jake can back me up on this. He loved being the center of attention. He didn't have a helmet on. He showed how pretty his hair was. I don't necessarily believe him. If I had to guess, it's something more like, Gallagher's a real asshole. If he fucks up, I'm going to throw the book at him. Okay. Yeah, I could buy that. But as far as a written list... I have a little trouble believing that.
Well,
if that is true,
in this article to say that Fraser says officials shared their lists with each other while on the job. Quote, each member of the officiating staff had his own list of players that duped him or attempted to and wouldn't hold back on sharing information around the pre-game lunch table or in the dressing room prior to a game. The adage, fool me once, good for you, fool me once, shame on me, was adopted by the core group and, quote, a known offenders list was mentally compiled and shared freely amongst the referees.
Whoa, back up.
Tommy.
Rose,
before we quickly go on, I just want to quickly add one thing before you go on.
Mentally compiled?
I can equate this to the collusion that occurs with gas companies. Nothing's written down, but the fact is the gas prices seem to rise and fall
so
quite
So he
strangely.
basically told this big story and then admitted at the end there's no way to prove it. Thank you.
Matt Kazar just said Gallagher confirmed that the refs told him that they would never call a penalty against him.
Gallagher said that?
Yeah.
The NHL, if this is true, first of all, I don't believe Kerry Fraser. I think he's full of shit. I think he was like I said, he's a chess beater when he was a referee. I don't fucking miss him. I never liked him. I think he loved being in control. He loved having attention, and he continues to show that behavior well after his retirement. So I think he's a lousy source. If this is true, is there any truth to this? The NHL needs to do an immediate investigation of these referees. Immediate. And here's the thing. The key is mentally compiled. That means that they're bullshitting about it. And there's no way to prove it. If they're targeting certain players, these referees need to lose their jobs yesterday. But I don't think Kerry Frazier's a good choice. And at very least, he's fucking Henry Hill. What a snitch, you know? I mean, he's obviously snitching on his boys. So I got to be honest with you, I don't trust snitches. Snitches have their own fucking agenda. And Kerry Fraser has always had an agenda. So is there some truth to this? I bet there's some truthiness to this, if I had to guess. That's what I'm saying. Next story.
All right, so I'm going to have to skip a few because we're running out of time here.
Go to the big ones. Go to the big ones. Look, we got fucking like 30 minutes, so relax.
All right, boss.
I'm going at least another 30 minutes. Because remember, we started late, buddy.
You got it, coach.
We started late.
All right, so next story is that the NHL responds to a concussion lawsuit and says players weren't misled.
I'm sure they weren't.
So the NHL apparently has finally responded to a lawsuit that's been brought upon them by 40 former players who are seeking damages because they allege that the league mishandled its response to concussions during their playing days. And the league itself thinks actually that this should be dismissed altogether.
Hope so.
So what happened was in August, a federal panel ruled that a concussion-related lawsuit brought by NHL players would be consolidated into one single suit and heard by the United States District in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
So basically what's going on here is that the NHL is trying to step away from claims that they knowingly added to potential problems with players specifically due to concussions, and feel that the players themselves are responsible for their own actions. And before I continue, I just want to say that this is coming from Puck Daddy. And many of these stories are coming from Puck Daddy, as Tommy had recommended that I do so in my position as the temporary news guy. And I have to say that, quite honestly, I felt sick to my stomach several times reading stories from Puck Daddy.
Oh, yeah, I'm
the
sure
bias
you
is so evident. It is just so clear. It honestly, it made
Why
me
do you
sick.
think I've been attacking them for 2 years, man?
So you've got
Tommy's
much better
upset
fortitude than
almost
I
every
do,
single
Tommy.
writer on him.
I read them because they make me upset.
It's unbelievable. So a lot of these stories here,
here's the thing.
the
Here's the thing
wording
about
that
Puck
they
Daddy.
use is I just wouldn't agree with. And maybe sometimes
Here's the thing
I
about
might
Puck
agree
Daddy.
with their
Here's why I give
points,
you
but
Puck Daddy. Here's why I give you Puck Daddy. They get everything in order, and it's the easiest way to take notes. I didn't tell you to take their opinions. You have to sort out their agenda.
Of course. But even reading some of the headlines, it's the bias, the slant,
repulsive.
the
It's
spin
repulsive.
is
We
so
had a guy
evident
in Puck
that it's
Daddy
just
last
disgusting.
week. We had a guy in Puck Daddy last week that fucking tried to use Corey Perry's mumps as a means to further his agenda that hockey culture's out of control. I mean, look, that's what we got. We're blaming the mumps. If God forbid Gordie Howe passes away, I honestly believe, I'm not even joking. Jake Link joked about this. I'm waiting for the guy to say that if Gordie Howe passes away, it's because of hockey culture that he passed away so young. I am not fucking kidding you. We will find the article. In fact, the day he passes away, whether it's next week or 10 years from now, we're going to fucking air that.
He would have lived to a nice, vibrant age of 86 and not 85.
Yeah, but so, I mean, you got to ignore Puck Daddy. As far as the NHL thing's concerned, we always bring up the Pat LaFontaine helmet. One of the reasons Pat LaFontaine almost had no chance of being re-signed is because the NHL was aware of these concussion issues. Also, a lot of these guys played after 1992 that are in this lawsuit. They were well aware of it because of the Lindros brothers' problems. And here's another thing. The science itself is only really a recent and 5 to 6 year phenomenon as far as the amount of damages it will do. The NHL, unlike the NFL, is not going to settle for $500 million. They simply don't have it. They're probably worth $500 million total. So they're going to have to fight it. Hopefully, these money-grabbing bitches, and I'm saying that it is a money grab and a half, That's all it is. I have zero sympathy for these players. Who the fuck didn't know that fighting for a living, that playing a unbelievably dangerous sport like ice hockey wouldn't have some kind of long-lasting impact in your life? By the way, jerk-offs, I did 8 years in the Army, and I'm suffering from all sorts of fucking health problems. You know what? I'd have changed that shit any week and added a few more health problems to play one day in the National Hockey League. Fuck. I'd have played in the ECHL or the AHL. You could have punched my lights. Connor McDavid could punch my lights out in the juniors if I would have played one day in your shoes. I'm not suing the Army, and you shouldn't be suing the NHL. This is a money grab. You're probably a cokehead, and you're looking to fucking screw up. Or you gave goddamn power of attorney to your parents, and that's what you get. This is just a money grab. That's all it ever was. And it's not even, it's not even a good one. Like I heard Ryan Lampert say, oh yeah, it's a money grab, but good. It's about time. How is it about time?
Can I bring up something real quick?
Sure.
Why is Jeff dressed like a frat boy from Animal
he's just
House?
like kind of a frat boy.
I had a game I had to coach.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
like
that's right.
the hat
So you're coaching kids now, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about
Well, I
that.
had a jacket on top of this, so the hat went with it.
You look sharp. Other than
you.
you look like the pro wrestlers, the Killer Bees from the late 70s.
Yeah, speaking of pro wrestlers, I'm in the process of going to Survivor Series to see none other than Sting.
Yeah!
Survivor Series, that means you're just walking through Ferguson?
Right.
It should be the Survivor Series. All right, wait a minute. Are you on your way out the door? Because it doesn't start in a few hours, right?
Yeah, it starts at 6:30.
Oh, you're that close to
How
Scotch?
Yeah,
close,
we're
how
go-
close do you
yeah, we're
live
going.
to-
How close are you to Scotch Rate?
Congrats.
Like 20 minutes.
Nice. Well,
You tell me everything's in 20 minutes of your location. Your college, Ferguson, the stadium.
Nice
like,
town.
are you in the center of this place or what, man?
Yeah,
Get
he's
your
in there.
fucking
He's really-
weapons
you
ready.
know what it is? I know what Dave's talking about because everybody says I know this from back home. Like if you live in New Jersey, where are you from? I'm from New York, and I saw this a lot in the Army. No, you're not. You're from fucking Flemington, New Jersey. That's far away. I think. And you know this from
PA.
Toronto too, and I actually live, and I know this because I actually live in the city I'm saying I'm living in. I think Jeff
I'll
lives
send
in
you my
St. Louis.
address if you want to prove that I'm actually in Toronto.
Well, you're in Toronto, but you're not downtown. But you told me that. You were honest with that.
If you want to count what the city counts as Toronto,
Oh, you're
I'm in
in.
it.
Yeah. But you're not downtown, right?
No, I'm not in the core.
You said you're about 30 minutes from Maple Leaf Gardens.
I'm
right?
basically a
50 minute ride. Okay.
50-minute drive maybe from
My
the
point
downtown
is,
core.
I wasn't using you as
Okay,
an example.
I'd say Ferguson's like a half hour.
How many
half
guys
hour.
do you know? How many guys do you know say they're from a city they're not? You know, I'm from Toronto,
A
but you're
lot.
only, like 2 hours. You're not. Not you. I wasn't talking about Dave Rose. Jake would never brag about being any.
Yeah, I never said I'm from New York.
I've met
but-
people
Yeah.
who are an hour away from Toronto saying, yeah, I'm in Toronto. It's like, no, you're not from Toronto. You're from...
Well, all
a
I
city
can say
far
is,
away.
Jeff, don't pull a fucking Jaren on us and tell everybody you went to WrestleMania. Not what? Did the fucking idiots just score?
Just bought
the
it.
Rams?
I just bought it. Just
What?
bought the tickets.
Oh,
just now.
congratulations! Oh, you did. What you call it? Oh,
Yeah,
congratulations! Hey, take
found
pictures,
I
man.
found a pair of $22 each.
Take pictures. And
Nice.
Dave, what else? Dave Rose, what else we got?
Oh,
Okay.
I'll be calling in tonight.
All
Oh,
right,
okay,
let's
good.
move in here. So this is actually building on a story that was reported previously by Tommy Sion in The Crease. NHL gives LA Kings cap relief after Slava Voinov domestic violence charge.
Smack.
So go ahead.
No, he smacked him. He smacked that bitch in the face. All right, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
It appears that the information is coming out that yep, he did actually do something according in contrast to what
Yeah.
we heard
Never
initially,
getting
which didn't
convicted.
sound like he actually did.
He's never
But
getting convicted.
according to the NHL on Friday, that the NHL announced today that the existing terms of its suspension of Los Angeles Kings player Slava Voinov will be continued indefinitely. However, in light of the uncertain and potentially extended period of time that the legal process may entail,
Year
the
or two.
NHL and NHLPA have agreed to permit the Kings to replace Mr. Voinov's salary and bonuses pursuant to the bona fide long-term injury exception under the terms of the NHL-NHLPA collective
Fair enough.
bargaining agreement.
I don't care.
Now, what this actually means, just to break it all down, is that his $4.1 million salary cap is finally freed up for the LA Kings. So even though he's suspended without pay because he's been charged with the felony, although he has not been convicted, the Kings will be able to exercise their ability to get players, considering that right now they're within according to this, under $1 million in cap space.
Okay, here's the thing. Good. I don't think that. Let's assume Slava Voynov did do this. He's not been convicted. They should have the cap space. It's unfair to punish them for a player they A, have to pay, and B, is indefinitely suspended for rules that I'm not even aware exist. They probably don't. Speaking of Slava Voynov, here's the dirty secret, and it's going to be interesting to do what they come back. He's not getting convicted because his wife or his girlfriend or whatever the hell is going on record, and she's saying she's not testifying against him. She's going to testify on his behalf. How the hell is the LA Police Department going to convict this guy if you had no witnesses and the one Mormon that was the victim says he didn't do it on purpose? Now, it would be what I think may have happened is she's either protecting him or this was some kind of really freak accident. I don't trust the LA Police Department because, as we all know, we reported on this show and several other sites reported he was charged day one. He wasn't. We know that's not true. And here's another thing. They had about 8-9 days to charge him, or they would have to drop the charges completely. So they did end up charging him. That does not mean he beat this poor woman. And just because she's sticking up for him doesn't mean she got beat. We all know that I've seen women do this in my life. But here's the thing. They're never going to convict him. So the question is now, what is he going to do when he gets off? Because he's getting off. Because the victim is not going to testify against him. The victim's going to say it was an accident. Unless she can prove that she's a liar, which is going to be tough. Unless
Are the Kings opening themselves up to a lawsuit with this, potentially?
Here's the thing. They're paying him, so it's going to be tough. They paid him the whole time.
No, he's suspended without pay.
Now he's suspended without pay. I hope then I hope he sues them. And not because whether he beat her or not, I hope he sues him because nobody should be fucking suspended without pay until they're convicted of a goddamn
felony. And that's a great point because even though he's been charged, he hasn't been convicted. I was under
the understanding that they suspended him with pay, and if they have just taken away his pay now, which I don't think they did, Dave, are you sure about that?
According to the article, yes.
Okay,
he's without
fine.
pay
All right,
now.
we'll have to go with that then. No, then he should
That's
sue the
Puck
shit
Daddy, your buddies.
He should sue the ever-living fuck out of them. Whether he can beat him or not, do it for me. Do it for fucking the working man. Because next thing you know, all us assholes are going to spend it without pay from work. And this is exactly what I talked about when this whole goddamn thing broke. That this is going to affect the average working guy. I don't give a shit about Slava Voynov. I don't even care if he hit that girl or not. I care about our businesses keeping us up because of an accusation.
But you know what it is, Tommy? You, me, Jeff, and Dave, we're not in the public eye. We're not looked at like that.
The labor laws apply the same, Jake.
Huh?
The labor laws apply the same, and they should not be exception whether you're a millionaire or you're working for $8.50 an hour. What else you got, Dave?
All right, Pascal Dupuis is out for 6 months with a blood clot. Fuck, I can't talk.
Yeah,
all right.
Him and Timo Timonen gonna go bowling.
So apparently, Pascal had a blood clot in his leg that traveled to his lung, according to his doctor.
Holy crap.
And the Penguins team physician. And basically, without all the medical mumbo jumbo here, is that the treatment is at least 6 months of blood thinners, during which time he will not be able to play hockey. But other than that, his condition is stable. And according to this article here, apparently this is quite scary for this team, considering the fact that Chris Letang was out with a stroke last year, and Olli Mata, who we're going to talk about in a moment, was apparently had a thyroid tumor removed from his neck.
Oli Matty or Matty. What's the kid's name?
Oli Matty.
Oli Matty, whatever his name.
I can't. Yeah,
it is bizarre. I mean, when Pittsburgh gets fucking. I watched the game over the weekend. Who the hell did they play? Oh, the Islanders. Great fucking game. Oh God, I watched. That was one of the few games I watched this week. I watched Islanders Pittsburgh Saturday morning. It was a Friday night game. I saw the big tribute to Pascal Dupuis. Jesus Christ. I mean, that shows you how deep they are, too, the Penguins. Get well soon, dude. I mean, that's freaky shit. I don't even know what to say, dude. I don't know what to say, but I mean, really, from Shot from the Point, whole crew right here, except down on Dave, and I know he'd fucking say the same thing. Get better real soon, brother. Olli Matty, whatever his name is, and
well, let's talk about that, actually, because that's the next story.
What do you got?
Olli Mata returns to the Penguins lineup 2 weeks after the removal of a cancerous tumor.
Because he's bald.
So He's only 20 years old, but he actually had that cancerous tumor removed from his neck. And apparently the outlook from the beginning is good, but the doctors are continuing to monitor.
Sure. And you know what? Let me tell you, he'd be dead if he wasn't a professional athlete, more than likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're checking those guys all the time. Hey, listen, we really hit on the Penguins a lot on this station, and it's more directed at Sidney Crosby. What a bunch of gutsy, ballsy guys on that team. You know, I mean, coming back, I mean, you got to give the Pens credit on this one. I'm not going to sit there. I mean, coming back from cancer, knocking out strokes, cancer. I will, you know, I was really impressed when I watched Pascal Dubuis. He was actually, he was on the fucking ice, or he was in the fans, talking to the fans after this blood clot incident. They call him the duper over there. And he was in the crowd, and the Penguins organization said, by the way, he's not going away. He's going to work. He's coming to work every day.
Well, just to finish off the article before we move on to our next story, this is a quote from him. "Now I don't have to worry about it anymore. I can focus on hockey again."
Yeah,
so he's clearly
go.
focused on what it is,
you know,
what it
you're a
is that
hockey
he
player,
wants
go play
to do.
hockey. And Dupuis and Matty and all those guys, the Pittsburgh Penguins, you know, big salute, hats off. Keep showing that kind of guts, determination, and willing to really see through some of the scariest shit in life and just like, fuck it, I'm moving on, you know. And yeah, what else you got, Dave? There's nothing.
All right, so talking about problems with players, Daniel Alfredsson's career is probably over, as according to a report.
The last guy from my youth, if you want to count Aliash and Yager. Right to the Hall of Fame with you. Right to the Hall of Fame with you. I love Alfie. But go ahead.
So sources are apparently saying that Alfredsson has decided not to play this season, and while the Red Wings have been informed that this is likely, they have not actually officially heard from him. So he's been plagued with an injured disc in his back over the past few years, lingering problems that apparently he's not been able to manage too well, and it continued to aggravate him, and there's a wear and tear of the game that's affecting him. So apparently this should, according to the article, should not be a surprise to the Detroit Red Wings, but it's still something that has not been officially announced to them. So they're still waiting for him to say what he's planning on doing.
He's not still under contract, is he? I don't think he's even under contract anymore, if I'm not mistaken. Is he?
I believe he might be, according to what I'm seeing here.
I don't think he's under contract anymore.
No,
I don't think he is. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. Hey, it's over.
Good ride.
Let's be blunt. He's been battling the disc problem as long as I can remember, and I think it just became too much to battle, if I had to guess.
Hey, in NHL 15, he's always there in the free agents.
Same with Marty, right?
And he's still good.
Marty's. I always drop. This is what I do. Yeah. I drop Clemenson. I sign Marty.
Which might happen.
Yeah.
Which might happen.
Then I go into I go in for a trade, and one of the people on the trade block is Marlowe from the Sharks. Yeah. So I go in there. I trade Bryce Salvador.
Yeah.
And maybe a few draft picks, and I have him pick up some of the salary, and then
And your team's still old. Moving on. What else you got, Dave?
Okay, so Alex Tanguay suffers a facial fracture from blocking Alex Ovechkin's shot.
Ouch.
And if you've seen this video, it's painful to watch.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, God.
Little love tap.
Pussy.
Apparently,
and that
Alex
is why
turned
we wear face
35 on
shields.
Friday, and he's going to miss the next game because of this injury.
Ah, Jesus. He's gonna miss
why we
more
wear face shields.
Yeah, he's going to miss more in the next game. I got news for you.
Do you think Tommy, in the next few years, they're going to go completely to the college mask?
No. Well, why not? I don't know. Anything's possible.
I think maybe a bigger face shield.
Maybe.
Yeah, but if it gets any bigger, it's going to be the clear shield. You know?
I don't know. I mean, I think. Look, who knows what's going? They're trying to pussify fucking everything. Football. They ruined football. They're trying to cover hockey.
But think though, these
next.
guys are. I mean, this is Ovechkin we're talking about. He just shoots wherever he wants to. Pretty much everybody else has phenomenal control of their shots, and they can keep it.
Hey, look, it's a hockey accent. Shit happens. What's this kid's name? I think I got his audio.
Alex Tanguay.
Yeah, okay. I got Alex on the line here. Here he goes.
I hate hockey and I don't like kids.
I bet. Moving on.
All right, so the next story here is Timo Solani closes the door on KHL move. Quote, my career's over, and that much is certain.
Ooh.
Nah,
So that's it.
it's not. It's not.
Oh, the popcorn, chicken in the macaroni. Here's chicken in the macaroni.
Wait a minute, he's finished, right?
Well, according to him, quote, my career is over. That is much is for certain. It has been nice to lead a life without any schedules, and there's no place for, in quotes, playing hockey in that. He actually says that I've seen a couple of Duck games this season, but I've seen a lot more of my son's games. So I think from that quote alone, you can see where he's coming from. He was actually offered $10 million to join his preferred team, which is Finland's Jokerit, if I'm
Well, here's the thing.
it properly.
Jokerit went to the KHL this year for the first time, and the level of hockey is going to be a lot higher than the SHL. So I mean, it's like, you know what? And I got to be honest with you, I hate to make all
He's
you
gonna come
NHL
back.
fans.
He's gonna pull a Brett Favre.
The KHL's
That would
better
be
than
cool
the
to see,
AHL.
but
A
I mean, if this is
Favre?
if this is the end for him, well, you know,
Hey,
thank
if
you
this
for all
is
the
end
memories.
for him, salute to the greatest Finnish player that ever walked the ice, maybe besides Jari Kurri. You know what? I always liked him, and I think I'm gonna miss him a whole bunch. But you know what? It's okay. You're 42 years old. I'm 41 years old. God, he's been playing since I was 17.
Yeah,
16.
you don't need to be Chelios and stick around.
No,
for him
and
to-
Chelios embarrassed himself towards the end. So you know what? He did everything he could do. He's taught players. He's won Stanley Cups. One thing his partner Paul Correa couldn't do in Anaheim. He was from
Couldn't do it here either.
one of the last Winnipeg Jets. You know, there's nothing left for him to do. I think all we can do is be thankful that we had a player like him in the league. What do you think? What else you got, Dave?
All right, so suspended Zenon Konopka,
Konopka.
Konopka.
content with career as he sits in hockey limbo. So this is the guy that we reported on a few weeks ago, or even last week, where he used an inhaler and was misdiagnosed, in my personal opinion,
Wait a minute,
as
Konopka-
using performance-enhancing drugs.
Wait a minute, no, I don't think it's the same guy. This is the guy that got hit over the summer. That took
Say
some
again,
cold
sir?
medicine. That's not your guy, is it? This guy's different. Double check that.
No, that's the same story that we talked about the week before.
All right, go ahead. I apologize.
About the
'cause I know there
inhaler,
was a
where
kid that-
basically what happened was he used an inhaler, which he got over the counter, and he made a public statement about this. He apologized and so forth. He accepted the punishment that they were giving him, which in my opinion was too excessive. But he
Okay,
said
I
basically the
agree.
drug that was provided to me was an inhaler, which was an over-encounter of the drug. My doctor did not properly assess this,
Not
even
Lee's
though
problem.
he had made it clear to the NHL and HLPA that I had issues with breathing, I needed asthma relief, and that I would need access to this sort of medication. Unfortunately, due to an oversight, he got into the position where what he took gave the wrong signals to the drug testing and made it appear as if he was under some sort of drug performance
Sure.
influence.
All right, I got two things on this. NHLPA, it's time to stick up for guys like this. Number two, NHL players, AHL players, ECHL players, watch your shit, get a good doctor, and make sure you're on.
That's
the
what I'm
fucking
saying.
level.
Why can't they be like a guy like in the league office saying, "Hey, this is what I'm on. I need it."
Because
for
zero
X, Y, and Z."
tolerance is a substitute for not being able to think.
Yep.
Look how well it works in our schools. What else you got?
All right, so the next story that we got here is that Jason Demers was traded to the Stars for Brendan Dillon in a surprise Sharks
Yeah, it's a little
swap.
weird, that frame.
And what happened here is that the Sharks traded Jason Demers and a 2016 third rounder for Stars defenseman Brendan Dillon. So the former is 26 years old and a puck-moving defenseman, according to Puck Daddy, and the latter is 24 years old and apparently got a big body. But apparently neither of them have gotten off to a good start this season. So I'm not really sure as to why this switch is going on. But hey, apparently they know something that I don't.
They probably don't. They probably don't know anything. It's Puck
But
Daddy.
that's the news here.
Yeah. Is that it? That's all you
Yeah,
got?
well, no, there's more. There's more
Well, what
stories.
do you- what
brother.
else you got?
All
I
right.
thought
So
you were
speaking
gonna-
about the Stars,
Yeah.
they actually signed Jason Spezza to a 4-year, $30 million
He deserves
deal.
that.
Yeah,
He did so
don't
well
don't
in
let
it.
your parents get in charge of that money there, Jason.
You're damn straight.
Ah.
So
Ducked the whole
apparently
Jack
Jim
Johnson
Nill,
in Columbus.
Jim Nill, the Dallas Stars general manager, decided to swap him up as soon as he had the opportunity to do so. And from the story that I'm reading here, that came about because he was in his final season of his 7-year, $49 million contract with the Ottawa Senators. So from that, he was able to get him into Dallas, considering that Spezza had not shown any interest to continue with Ottawa, and apparently has locked him down to be committed to working, for the next while with Dallas.
It's Spezza's a lot like he's just one of these guys that he's not that good. He's just been labeled star. I mean, I noticed he was in the 1989 version of that NHL Arcade 3-on-3. If you want to play me on it, catch me up at Tommy Callanan at Xbox 360, whatever. And I want to start beating ass in that game because I got really fucking good at it. The computer can't even beat me on hard anymore. I have to beat people to cheat online. Spencer's one of these guys that he's going to get a lot more money because he's Jason Spenza, and the media decided he was a star at some point, and he's not. He played in Ottawa and did nothing with a reasonably good team. So, whatever. And good for him.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him. I don't really care one way or another. Perfectly honest.
Okay, let's get Randy.
Yeah. What else you got?
Hextall to the Flyers. Quote, that's fucking embarrassing. So, apparently Hextall lost it on last Wednesday's night loss
and he should
to
have.
New York,
the Flyers
2-0,
horrid.
where the Flyers dropped below .500, and he apparently was screaming at the players before storming out of Madison Square Gardens. So, quote, this is what he said. Quote, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
That's fucking embarrassing. Jesus fucking Christ. But when he was questioned by the
Tell us
media,
how you really feel, Ron.
this is the funny thing, though. When he was questioned by the media, he was a little more coy about it.
Oh,
he
was
said,
he?
I'm not going to confirm or deny that. We didn't come out hungry enough. We didn't play very well.
You sold out, Hexall.
We've got to be a lot better than that. I just said I was very disappointed. Very disappointed. It actually says that
he's not
twice.
lying. But he said it in hockey speak. You're fucking idiots!
Jesus fucking Christ.
Jesus fucking
and
Christ.
yes, Hextall, baby.
Ron
That's so
Hextall
funny.
Has a fucking temper
And
on
you know
him.
what?
We're geeks, baby.
Shame on these language cop fucking douchebag reporters being like, did you speak to them in that matter? Yeah, because they're a bunch of millionaire bitches that
That's how
aren't
you
performing.
speak to players.
I watched
They're not
that game.
preschoolers,
They
they're
should be
grown
embarrassed. The Rangers aren't that good. I got news for you, and I'm a big Ranger fan. Anything else, Dave?
Yes, sir.
What do you got?
Speaking about the Flyers, the Legion of Doom reunites Eric Lindros, John LeClair
Woo!
in the Flyers Hockey Hall of Fame.
Is John LeClair in the real Hall of Fame?
Now he is.
He should. The real Hall of Fame, not the Flyers Hall of Fame.
No. No, I don't believe in the
could
real
be
Hall of
Flyers
Fame.
Hall of
He
Fame.
should be in the real Hall
Sorry.
of Fame. John LeClair is a great player.
But basically, it was John LeClair, Eric
Great
Lindros, and Renberg. Sorry, I can't remember his first name.
Oh yeah, that's the whole Legion of Doom line.
Yeah, so basically,
that's all they got.
they're being inducted into the Flyers Hall of Fame, and they've had their bust revealed, and that was basically
A
4
salute
days
to the
ago on
greatest
But you know what?
Flyers
You know
who
what?
never.
They accidentally dropped the Eric Lindros one, and he's out for 3 weeks. So it just shows a big Band-Aid with an ice pack on his head on his bust.
Now let's talk some quick funny stuff here.
What do you
Prince Albert Raiders' new mascot causes a stir.
What do you
So
do?
Prince Albert Saskatchewan Raiders apparently have had some heat brought onto them. They're part of the Western Hockey League, but what happened was they've revealed a new mascot, which is basically a copy of their old original mascot back from the 70s, and it's an Arabian Raider holding a sword and a hockey stick.
That's gonna really piss off Matthew Kassar.
But it's
go
quite
ahead.
funny that this is becoming headlines when I
so
don't really
stupid.
see it much of a deal, but I do agree. It is a caricature of a ethnicity, I guess.
So is
but
the
then again, if
Redskins.
you take a look at the
So
late
is the
70s,
Blackhawks.
early 80s, I've seen my parents at parties, at Halloween parties, photos of this stuff where people, like so many people were dressed as Arab sultans and stuff. Again, with the 70s and 80s oil embargo and stuff, a lot of people and a lot of media ended up doing these caricatures.
your
So
parent-
I
your
don't take
parent-
personal offense, but
It's stupid. It's
Your
not to
parents
be.
told- your parents
let
told
me
you
ask
that
you,
there
Dave
was
Rose. Look at me. Should I be offended over the Fighting Irish? It puts a
No.
stereotype: the Irish are drunks and they engage in fisticuffs easily. Should I
Well,
be?
Tommy,
should I-
how sober are you right now?
Not that sober.
Okay. All right.
But I mean, seriously, should I be offended by that?
Not at all.
Exactly. And then no, you shouldn't be offended by this either. In fact,
But a
it's,
very funny story nonetheless.
look. I mean, fucking Germans. I think. Look, there's healthy stereotypes and unhealthy stereotypes. Being a sultan's not one of them. You know, Germans being good beer makers is not necessarily a bad one. I mean, get over your fucking
I
self.
think of a lot
All
of
right,
other...
next story here.
Yeah, what do you got?
So this is something that you discussed last week, and you seem to enjoy quite a lot there, Tommy. But
What?
Bob McKenzie had a sick burn there, apparently, on Mike Milbury.
He sure
GM
fucking did.
Premier.
Tell us the story.
All right, so what happened here was during a conversation about the Toronto Maple Leafs and their losing and inability to maintain wins,
Yeah.
Milbury was quoted to say,
The authority.
he's not been an NHL coach.
Yeah.
He's not been an NHL GM. I wish I'd done that. Skip right to the presidency, get rid of all those menial jobs, end quote. And then McKenzie chimes in, so do the New York Islanders, end quote. And then Milbury says, oh, please.
And Rick DiPietro.
But he was just burned right there
By the
live
way,
on television.
By the way, Rick DiPietro, he's now on Hockey Night Live. That comes on every Saturday for on MSG.
Oh, is he?
You-
I'm glad he
yeah.
got a job. I'm not gonna. We make fun of Rick a lot, but I mean, I think he's actually a pretty cool dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, building on a previous story that we discussed with Toronto throwing the jerseys on the, or fans throwing the jerseys on the ice, a KHL fan was arrested by arena police for tossing hats on the ice after a hat trick.
Yeah,
I
and
believe,
that's
Yes,
really
we
good.
don't like that because we need to keep our hats on it because it's really cold.
That's
Jake,
right.
wasn't it you? Wasn't it was either Jake or Tommy in our chat program here that actually said after the jersey thing happened in Toronto, what's next? Are they going to arrest people for throwing hats on the ice for an ice trick? There you go. That's what happened.
Yes.
Wait a minute. Wasn't there some kind of report that they were gonna face action against jersey tossers?
After the jersey was thrown in Toronto, the
Stupid
Maple
Sky.
Leaf Sports Entertainment came out and said, well, we don't agree with this. It's dangerous to our players. And yes, we're going
get
to make
out.
sure that our security
What a
goes
joke.
after those that are throwing
know what it
jerseys
is?
or any other paraphernalia on the ice.
Have you ever seen those Russian hats? Those big fucking.
I hate
furry
hockey and I don't
things?
like kids.
Keep your head warm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why.
It's
Vladimir Putin doesn't want any of us catching cold.
But I think it's hilarious that they actually, are going through with these sorts of things and throwing, people in jail and charging them for things that have been sort of
that Russia does. That should be embarrassing. It should be embarrassed Canada, and should be writing in this.
should we also be embarrassed about throwing teddy bears on the ice? I mean,
well, that's coming next week, right? That's a Calgary.
No more octopi being thrown on.
Yeah, no
there.
more octopi.
I have no problem with throwing stuff on the ice.
None. Well, no, I do. Coins, things that could hurt players.
No,
but if you're gonna
but
throw
I mean,
the
like,
jersey on the
octopus,
ice
I have no
after the
problem.
fucking
Hats,
game,
jerseys,
it doesn't
no problem.
endanger anybody. Who are you kidding? Are you insane? It doesn't endanger a soul. You fucking jerk.
All
Is there
right,
anything else
talking
good?
about non-NHL topics, a man actually fell asleep on an ice resurfacing machine, aka a Zamboni, during an AHL intermission. You can find that on the internet, and it's hilarious.
let's
Somebody needs to get a sleep apnea test.
I have one. I sleep with one of those things.
Oh wait! Breaking news! Sorry,
got?
I have to get this in.
Okay.
The Iron Man, Jay Bouwmeester, is out of the lineup. His streak ends at 737 games.
Oh, that's too bad.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh,
Well,
we forgot one story. There's a quick little silly story. Arturs Urbe actually dressed up as the backup goalie for Buffalo.
I have that
Did he
story right
really?
here.
Did he
Yeah.
really? God, he hasn't played since I was a little boy.
Basically, what happened was the goalie was injured at that point, and he dressed himself up ready to hit the ice in case the goalie couldn't go on.
Well, that happened
Quite
with-
incredible considering his age.
And that happened with the Ducks earlier this season, too.
Dwayne Rolls.
And Marty still can't get a job.
Yeah. Marty was probably there with sled dogs. Hey, you guys need a goalie?
Oh, God, that's too funny. All right, everybody, JohnFreemanMusic.com, JohnFreemanMusic.com. John Freeman is the official musician of the Shot from the Point production channel. Please check out JohnFreemanMusic.com. You want a podcast, you want to get into it, you need music, you don't want YouTube to charge it, check out johnfreemanmusic.com. Talk to him, tell him what you want, and get through it. Joe Cronin, Joe Cronin Show. Joe Cronin has a big pay-per-view coming up tonight for Survivor
Which
Series.
I am going to.
And he's going to have a man on the scene from the Joe Cronin family, none other than Jeff the Huffman, our newsman and bluesman. So make sure right after pay-per-view, turn on. You go to you'll actually get a commercial for it on JoeCroninShow.com, or on Joe Cronin. But if you go to Spectrum Gaming 617, you'll get the live broadcast.
Jeff, I want you to get a sign that just says "Shot from the Point Live"
and
YouTube. You just hold it up. I don't care where you're sitting.
They'll probably take it away from
I'm
him.
sitting up in like the freaking nosebleeds
Don't
by
bother.
the Titantron.
Don't do it. Enjoy the show. Speaking of Jeff Huffman, you can check his YouTube channel out at Grand Slam 87. Grand Slam 87, Jeff the Huffman. And what is your Twitter account they can get you at?
That is also Grand Slam 87.
And what's the YouTube account? It's G Slam or something, right?
No, the URL for YouTube is gslam87, but just type Grand Slam 87 in the little
And it should be good.
search box. It'll come up.
Check out Dead on Dave at www.youtube.com/.
Got 63 subscribers. No big deal.
Oh, do you really? Well, we have to work on you next. We got Dave 100, so we're going to look at you 100. Check out Dead on Dave Ankura, wrestling mastermind and co-host of the Joe Cronin Show at www.youtube.com/the Dead on Dave. That's www.com, yahoo.com, yahoo.com, youtube.com, the Dead on Dave. Hope I confused you. You probably won't sub anyway. Who the fuck likes wrestling? In the Crease, Tommy C starts tomorrow again, even though I got ill and couldn't do it. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. A little morning ice for you. Check out In the Crease with Tommy C with none other than Dead on Dave. We talk about the day's hockey's event, and of course, we talk to Dave Rose too. And then we all finish it up all together, nice and neat, and wrap it like a bow on Thursday. Again, 10 a.m. in Eastern Standard Time. Morning ice In the Crease with Tommy C.
Make that 64 subscribers.
Monday through Thursday.
Ooh.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Check us out at social media, Shot from the Point Hockey, and on Facebook. You can also check out Shot from the Point Production on Google Plus, and our partners NHL Gaming and NHL Gaming Fans.
Yep. By the way, we're looking for more admins. I think more left the group. I don't know why. We're looking for an Islanders admin.
Did somebody say something mean? Those pussies over there.
No, looking for an Islanders admin.
Yeah, that's what happened.
We're looking for
That's
a
exactly what
Vancouver admin. We're looking for a Florida Panthers admin and an LA Kings admin.
Yeah, an LA Kings admin. Oh, that's right. Nobody even knows they won the cup over there.
Yeah.
They're too busy watching the Cavaliers.
Yeah. Yeah. They go to Cavs games to see hockey. That's how smart the LA fan is. What is it? Fucking Brandon called this in last year. Yeah. So what do you think the Kings are doing? I don't know. They're raising the cup now. They are? You know. And Jake said, "Typical Kings fan." Typical Kings fan. Hey, if you want to talk to me, Tommy C, the head, the mastermind, as the Shot from the Point channel, check me out on Twitter. Let me know anything. Unless if you're gonna fucking tag me in conversations with other fucking people just for the sake of doing it. Don't do that shit. That is really starting to piss me off.
Follow Friday?
Oh my god. Like,
Ain't
it's
follow
like,
Friday.
yeah, the Friday thing's pissing me off. Like, I don't need to be in these conversations. You know, you can say something to me, and if I don't fucking comment, you ain't gotta put me through. Shot for the Point, you're on the fucking air. I hope you're not one of those idiots that tags me in every conversation. What do you got?
I've been listening to the show the whole time. You guys are the dumbest people on the air. Like,
Oh, yeah?
This is why YouTube is free. It's stupid.
Oh, yeah, you
people
think
like
so?
you just sound like a moron.
Suck my
So
sack,
what?
Joe.
Says eat me. How about that?
I just want to call in and say, you guys had a hell of a show.
Love ya, buddy.
Good job, and I'll see you later.
All right, brother. Check out JoeCroninShow.com. That was Joe Cronin right there. And check him out right after the pay-per-view.
Spectrum Gaming 617. Spectrum Gaming 617. Spectrum Gaming 617.
All right. Everybody get
Tommy, you stopping by tonight, Tommy? You coming on tonight?
Nah, probably not, man. I didn't get the job, so I got
100 yard picks.
all right, well,
George
yeah,
Jenkins.
the job I was
talk about
supposed to
that
get.
Right.
The job fell
Well, guys,
through.
John Cena's turning heel tonight. Sting's gonna come. It's gonna be crazy. We'll see you then.
I will
Check
be
it
there.
out.
I got my hopes up.
Spectrum Gaming 617.
You better tweet me from there, by the way.
I'll be
Good
taking
show, guys.
pictures, video, and I'll be
Joe, you still there? No, of course. Joe?
I'll be videotaping.
Oh
my
yeah,
second
you
screen
got
on my phone.
Huffman's gonna be your man on the scene too. He's gonna be he just got tickets. He's going there.
Oh my God! You know what I think about Huffman's reporting.
Yeah, I can see it now. Here it is.
Jeff, are you there? Yeah,
So what was the show like?
it was good.
All right. Maybe like so Jeff's your man on the scene. He'll be there at Survivor Series to let everybody know.
It was good.
I love it. I'll see you there. I'll see you tonight. Good show, guys.
All right, everybody. Everybody, at Jake Lee Comedy at Twitter, at Jake Lee Comedy. Please check it out, at Jake Lee Comedy. Dave Rose, you want to give your Twitter account out, or you don't do that?
Yeah, sure, why not? At Devious Dave Rose. At Devious Dave Rose. Tell me you hate me. Give me a death threat. Whatever. It's all good.
Yeah, I get more death threats than you.
I got no death threats yet. I want to at least get one. Come on, people.
I'll give you one. I won't tell it to me to make you feel better, and then me and Jake will laugh. You know? You also can call me and give me a direct death threat so I can trace you and point it to your local police department at 718-395-7660. You can call me live during any of our live broadcasts, or you can call me anyone a live broadcast, or you can leave a message and I probably won't get back to you. So you can do that. Also, I'm actually I'm announcing the death of Epic 3. I simply don't have the time to do it, and there's no reason for me to do it if I can't do it once I get a job. Even though I didn't get the job I thought I was going to get, it's not reasonable to start a project that I can't finish. And you know what? We have 2 projects on the show. They're goddamn good. We're still getting uploads, but I think Epic 3's got to be. It's just simply too much work. I don't have the kind of time to put that in. I think if Epic 3 was the only thing I was doing, I think it'd be okay, but it's just not enough. I want to be
Rest
I just want to be
in peace.
That's right. Here goes Epic 3. You know?
It was great while it lasted.
Yeah, it's a good idea, but I don't have the time, and I probably don't have the resources. Maybe one day we'll rise from the dead again. Thank you very much, everybody. This has been Shot from the Point Live, and we hope to see you next week. Goodbye from Jeff Huffman, comedian Jake Link, and Devious Dave Rose. We'll see you next time, bitches. Have a great weekend. Hopefully see you next week, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard
Have a good Thanksgiving, too.
Yeah, that's right.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yeah. Do you guys
Happy
need
real
off
Thanksgiving, people.
Do you guys need off this week, or you want to be here next Sunday? Be honest with me now.
I won't be here next Sunday.
You won't be here next Sunday. Okay.
No. I'll be here. I'll be here on Thanksgiving weekend, but the next Sunday I won't be.
So you're coming this Sunday. You're gonna be here.
Yeah, this Sunday I'll be here.
Yeah, this Sunday. And Jeff, you're gonna be here this Sunday, or you got family?
Celebrated Thanksgiving.
You got family business this Sunday, Jeff, or are you gonna be here?
There we go.
Jeff!
My back. No.
Jeffrey.
All right, we'll talk to him later. Thank you very much, everybody. Listen to Shot from the Point Live. See you later. Peace.
Later.
Moving on, Elliot. He shoots. He scores. It's Mika. Stop the intro. This is an emergency broadcast out of St. Louis, Missouri. Apparently, that cop got let off. Look out! Look out! Look out! Look out! Look out, Jeff! Don't go to Survivor Series, Jeff! Don't go!
Seriously?
No, of course not. No,
dude, man, I'm the type of guy that if you tell me that gullible is removed from the dictionary, I'd probably look it up.
Are you the